You want to grow your wealth, you want to feel safe while doing it, and you won't be able to sleep at night without worrying about whether your money will disappear tomorrow. That's what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through 3 investment strategies that are simple, proven, and don't require you to gamble on the next big thing. They won't make you rich overnight, but if you follow them with discipline, they will build wealth, protect you from risk, and give you peace of mind. The first strategy is investing in broad market index funds. An index fund is basically a basket of companies. Instead of betting on one single stock, you own a small slice of hundreds of them. In the US, the most famous one is the S&P 500. It includes 500 of the biggest companies, from Apple to Microsoft to Coca-Cola. In Australia, you've got ASX 200, which tracks the top 200 companies listed here. Over the past 50 years, the S&P 500 has returned on average about 10% per year. That means if you invested $10,000 in 1980 and never touched it, today you'd have more than $1.1 million. And that's without picking a single stock. The reason is simple. Over time, economics grow, business expand, innovate, and raise profits. By owning the market, you share in that growth. You don't need to guess which company will win. Here's how you put this into practice. Open a low-fee brokerage account. Don't pay high fees. Fees eat into your returns over time. Look for broad market ETFs like VOO or IVV in the US or VAS here in Australia. Decide on a fixed amount to invest every month. Even $500 a month adds up. Don't sell when the market drops. Hold for 10 years or more. For example, let's say you invest $500 every month into an index fund earning 8% a year. In 20 years, you will have about $275,000. In 30 years, it's over $680,000. That's the power of compounding. So if you want a strategy that works quietly in the background while you live your life, this is it. The second strategy is owning dividend growth stocks. These are companies that not only pay dividends, but also increase them year after year. Why does that matter? Because dividends give you real cash in your hand, not just paper gains. And when those dividends keep rising, your income grows automatically. Take Johnson & Johnson in the US for example. They've increased the dividends every single year for more than 60 years. Or Procter & Gamble, with over 65 years of dividend growth. And here in Australia, banks like Commonwealth Bank and NAB consistently pay dividends, often in the 4 to 6% range. Think about it this way. If you own $10,000 worth of CBA stock and the dividend yield is 5%, that's $500 a year in income. Now if the dividend goes up by 5% next year, your income rises too. Over time, reinvest those dividends and you'll start compound on compounding. Here's what you look for in a dividend growth stock. At least 10 years of consistent dividend increases. A payout ratio that's the percentage of profits paid out as dividends in the healthy range between 40 to 60%. Too high means it's not sustainable. A strong, steady cash flow. Not a company that's taking on huge debt just to keep paying off dividends. From 1972 to 2022, companies in the S&P 500 that consistently grew their dividends returned 10.7% per year. Non-dividends payers returned only 8.2%. That gap over decades is massive. The best part? Even when markets fall, dividend checks will arrive. They give you stability. And that stability helps you stay invested when others panic. The third strategy is investing in real assets that produce income. I'm talking about things like real estate, investment trusts, rental properties, or infrastructure funds. These are assets tied to the real world: housing, offices, warehouses, highways, utilities. Why do they matter? Because people always need a place to live, transport systems to use, and power to turn the lights on. These are not fads, they are core parts of life. One way to assess this is through REITs, or real estate investment trusts. They are like stock market version of property portfolios. For example, VNQ is a large REIT ETF in the US. In Australia, you have REIT ETFs that hold shopping centers, office buildings, and industrial parks. Global REITs have returned about 8% annually over the last 20 years. And here's the key. More than half of those returns come from dividends. That means stable income while your investment grows. If you think about direct property, be smart. Don't over-leverage. Keep your loan-to-value ratio under 70%. So if the market dips, you are not underwater. Focus on areas with strong rental demand and population growth. Don't chase speculation. Here's a practical example. Let's say you buy a $500,000 rental property. You put down $150K and rent it out for $500 a week. That's $26,000 a year in rent. After expenses and loan payments, maybe you net $8,000. That's a 5% return on your equity, not including any capital growth. And rents usually rise with inflation, which protects your income over time. The point is, real assets balance your portfolio. They don't move in the same way as stocks. They add stability and income you can count on. Here's how these three strategies can fit together. Imagine a portfolio like this. Half in broad market index funds, 30% in dividend growth stocks, 20% in real assets like REITs or property. What do you get? Growth from the market, cash flow from dividend, stability from real assets. That's balance. That's how you sleep at night. But strategies alone aren't enough. Your mindset is what makes or breaks you. Markets will fall. They always do. In 2008, the S&P 500 dropped 37%. In 2020, it fell 34% in a single month. But both times, it recovered and then hit new heights. The investors who stayed in are the ones who won. Here are the rules you should follow. Invest a fixed amount every month, no matter what the market is doing. Reinvest dividends and interest automatically. Hold for decades, not years. If you do these three things, you don't need to stress about short-term noises. Your wealth grows quietly in the background. So let's recap. The three strategies that build wealth and let you sleep at night are broad market index funds for long-term growth, dividend growth stocks for income and stability, real assets like REITs and properties for diversification. They are simple, they are proven, and if you stay disciplined, they work. You now have the roadmap. Take it, put it into action, and 10 or 20 years from now, you will look back and thank yourself for starting today. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs it. Let me know in the comments for topics you'd like me to cover. See you in the next one.